Meanwhile, back in July.
I can't get you out of my mind. It's like I feel it for the first time. Been thinking about you all night. I've been searching for this all my life.
But then when we stopped and we're looking up and we look over the bridge, and we looked up in the middle of the night and we seen our friend Dennis on top of the bridge. And the thing about it is we had just met Dennis 3 days earlier, but he was our best friend, right? Like we just had just amazing bonds. And then he stopped the boat and he let Dennis hop into. But what I was saying was, had I not been in Venice with my girl, had I been there by myself, that experience would have never happened. Because I'm not roaming the streets. As soon as he would have said, follow him into a dark closet with a lantern, I would have went home. None of that would have happened. Had I been in Venice with anybody else who was not a member of my tribe, one of a scared human that's out there, they would have been like, no, we ain't doing this. Oh my God, their spidey senses would have been going off because that's the life they built. But I built a life of wellness, a life of adventure, a life of protection, a life of this. And I have a bunch of tribes who have built the same. So our intuition and instinct doesn't immediately say run because something looks out of our comfort zone, So I just say I'm so happy and blessed that I have a whole tribe of people who are down for this. And that's why I have some of the most amazing adventures on this planet ever. Like, it's not just because of me by myself. Y'all ain't never heard of me with an adventure by myself, except a hot mess adventure.
So let me ask you a question.
What you want to ask, girl?
I read in your comments a lot.
Hold up. How old are you, Corinne?
48.
Corinne is freaking 48. What the hell? Y'all see that?
I'm happy.
I know.
I read in your comments all the time. People ask the question, oh, I wish I had friends like that. How do you get friends like that? How do you create that for yourself? How do you have
they do, y'all.
And so, how do you answer that question?
But it's the same answer to everything. How do I get a man like Jay? How do I get a house like I have? How do I get a career like I have? How do I go on?
I know the answers to these questions, but y'all listen.
It's like, how do I go on all the vacations every time I want? They be like, how much vacation you have at work? And I have a regular day job. How do I manifest what I manifest? Because the laws of attraction are real, guys. You can apply this to everything. Like, I just told you all about my plight. Here's the thing. Once you clear up one area of your life and get what you want, something else will pop up because your life is designed to get better and better and better. And what may be okay for you now, today, after you manifest a few things, you might realize, wait a minute, that ain't good enough either. Or why am I living like this either? And that was the question that popped up with my son. It was like, wait a minute. It's time for him to go. Because, we've been having this conversation for years, but I wasn't quite ready.
Yeah. Right?
Because I'll go back and forth. And I'll be like, well, we're just going to let him stay. And we're going to budget with him more. That ain't work.
And it's so cool that he's leaving with ease.
With ease, girl. He invited me over to his 6-person house party. It feels like our relationship is better.
Yeah.
He ain't even left yet. The reality hasn't even happened yet. And that's the thing. The reality doesn't necessarily have to happen for the shift to happen first. The shift. Like, some people feel...
to make sure that F came out.
The shit. Some people feel like, I can't be happy until this happens. Or I can't rejoice and give praise until this happens. But the happening of it is enough to give joy and to rejoice and to give praise.
The
idea of it. And y'all know we get down with an idea. Matter of fact, Corinne get down with so many ideas half the time we don't even know what's real and what's not. Or what's here and what's not. We like, what?
I know that's a fun feeling when you think about your memory, and it's so good and it's so real. Like, you've been to Venice, you've been to Dubai, you've been everywhere, you've done everything, you ate everything, and then when you eat it, you're like, did I eat this before or not?
That was the case with my house.
Yeah.
I would visit the model home every day. I would sit in rooms and read. People would come to see my home. I was giving them a tour. They thought I worked there. Like, you could not tell me I did not have Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever in that home.
Really?
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I used to do it every day in every room. I used to just be chilling. I had my stuff, and they let me.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but I couldn't get in the house. I would go to my neighborhood, look in Baltimore Row home, look in the little slot and go, honey, I'm home. And I would sit on the porch and I would clean up the trash. The neighbors thought I was crazy. People were like,
because we're the same kind of delusion. No, we have the same special brand of delusional.
And the funny thing is, I would sit on the porch and talk to my neighbor, and I hadn't owned the house yet, and we were doing the same thing, stupid, in Baltimore, in real life when I got the keys. Doing the same exact thing. And I was like, oh, I was doing the same thing before.
And that was my thing. So because I had spent every holiday in that home, I was not going to accept that home on any terms but my own. So what was it? Oh, I know what it was. When I was going for the bank loan. Y'all don't even know. Because first of all, I was not prepared to buy a house. I didn't know I was going to buy a house. I just woke up.
Videos.
Yeah, I know. I just woke up one day and was like, I'm buying a house. Credit all the way bad. I already had a rental home with nobody. I already had, not a rental home. Duh. It was a house. I already had a house. There were so many obstacles. And don't be yawning. And there was so many obstacles. But I was like, it's going to work out. I don't know how. And then it was like, you had to put down, you had to have $60,000. I ain't had nothing saved because I was not preparing to buy a house. Suddenly, money just started falling from the sky. Mm-hmm. Because I never do my taxes. I always do my taxes super late. Did my taxes, I got like $25,000 back in taxes. That was for 2 years of taxes, $25K back. Somebody called me on my phone at work. Like they found a phone at work and they called me and told me that they've been trying to find me because there was some money waiting for me. And it was like $15,000. Mm-hmm. It was like all of this stuff that I did not work for. I did not try to figure out.
And I know this sounds corny, but the same thing happened to me. Y'all like, she's back on her.
Well, that's because, it's the fact is, it's because this is the law of attraction. And what I also know is whoever you keep company with, y'all will attract the same things. So you got to be careful about that. We talk about that all the time. On both sides.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened parallel to that. So I did the same thing at my house, similar energy at my house. But with my down payment, they know where it was coming from, any type of money that I had to contribute to the house. And I was investing in Ameritrade years ago, and I had shut that investment down like a dummy.
Oh, yeah, I did that too.
Yes, I shut that down, took it out, paid off bills, and I was like, it's closed. I don't have no money in it. So when they called me to say, hey, you want to meet or whatever to go over your portfolio, I said, no, because there's no money there. I'm not investing. And then something was like, well, just go and get prepared to get back to investing when you're ready to do that. Go find out what your plan is so you can forward think. I got there. He was like, what do you want to do with this $15,000? I was like, buy a house. I had no idea there was money in it because it was like $30,000, $40,000, and I had taken I thought I took it all out, but it was still, there was a little something in there still accruing.
Yeah. Same thing happened to me because I had worked for a company for a year and I left. But while I was there, I had put money in 401k. And then, you forget about it. Yeah. But then when this house thing popped up, I said, oh, let me look at that. And it had 30,000 in it. It had 30, and I pulled it all. And that was right before the stock market crashed. So that's why I said I didn't lose anything. And they say you have to pay penalties. But for some reason, when I did my taxes the next year, I still got a good, healthy refund. Even with the so-called penalty for pulling money out early out of a 401k account. So I'm just saying that I have been fortunate to find my tribe, my bands, my mates, my soul mates early in life. And we have had we are having the most fabulous adventures. This is why I started driving to Virginia Beach last night and I'm only in Maryland. I made it as far as Maryland.
Wrong direction. You've been on the way.
I've been on the way for a minute now, for hours. But
deer, look at that deer running through the yard.
What the heck?
He was running away through the house like a cat or something.
Yeah, wow. So yeah, y'all. It's just so freaking delicious and so freaking good. And we all have these same belief systems. We all. Corinne's girlfriend, everything. It's like what you just pulled up. There's a placement card.
Yeah, where you put your dreams on one side.
Y'all, we have a book called A Course in Gratitude. Now, I would like to do the book over. Let me say that. Because, it wasn't necessarily the language I preferred. But it was 3 of us writing it, and we had to come to some agreements, y'all. Because if not, the thing wouldn't have been done. But we did that. That was another great manifestation. But in the book, we have exercises that we use, and one of them is the placemat exercise. The assigning. Do we call it the placemat exercise in the book?
No, we call it. I don't know if it was Not My Business or Jesus Take the Wheel, something like that. But one of the games, you draw a T, and on the left side you put me, and on the right side you put God, the universe, not me, something like that. And on this side you might have write a resume, call such and such, do whatever, take out the trash. And on this side is all that stuff you don't know, you don't have a plan, you can't even begin to script a plan to buy a house when you don't have the money. Or there was a time I wasn't working and my daughter was graduating from basic training, and I was like, how am I gonna get down there? I need a hotel, I need a car, nothing was present. Nothing I needed for that to be great was present. And I just wrote her name. I ain't even put no details over there. I was just like, God, handle that. Within days, I got an advance check from a job that I was advanced. I didn't do no work. She just was like, here's $1,000 advance. One of my friends said I could spend the night at her house that I didn't even know lived in South Carolina, around from Fort Jackson. And I stayed at her house with me and my 2-year-old at the time to go to this graduation. We left, we stayed there, we had a good time, we cackled, we did whatever. I moved my trip on. The next day her house caught on fire, right where I was sleeping. But I'm about to cry just thinking about it. Thinking about that, thinking about getting to Florida, right when everybody was getting, the catastrophe was happening in Florida a couple of years, and we walked right through the airport. Not to take away from
again, we were together.
Yeah, not to take away from anybody else's well-being, but that little placemat thing is a physical representation of letting God handle it. Now, you can't do it and then be like, did you do that yet? Did you do that yet?
Yeah,
God,
let it go. Let it go.
That's not how that works.
And that's the thing. And I just think that this is important to know, like, the stuff I share is not just me. I got evidence all around me where this stuff is popping off and working out left and right. We dream up the impossible just because we can, just because it feels good. What can we dream up that's impossible today?
Yeah, and that's the great feeling I've been having that the last week. I'm like, what else? I don't even know what else.
And that's why for me the what else became, your son used to go. You know what I mean? And y'all know I already didn't know how any of that was going to work out.
But whatever that little clarity desire was, that face you made, that's the same face you made about Jay. He was like, when we went to the cruise, and you heard about the cat, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, why can't I? And the next poof.
Here's Jay. Yeah, because before that, I wasn't questioning I want a man. Yeah. It was like, wait a minute. Maybe I got a man. Tell me, you mean I got all these great friends, all this great travel, all this great life, and a man?
Yes.
Let's do it. I'm down.
It was like, just that you do nothing. You call nobody. You ain't go no Tinder. You do nothing. You just.
I sure didn't.
No.
And I think in my mind later on, I think I was going to consider going on the internet. That's why when I was saying long distance, because I think I was thinking in my head, I didn't get around to doing it. I hardly ever get around to action, to putting action towards anything. But I think in my head I was thinking, well, if I go on a profile, I can make it a longer, a bigger miles, because they'll ask you what the range you want.
Yeah.
And I think I will always put like 50 miles, like within 50 miles. And I was like, wait a minute, it could be anything. It could be worldwide. But I didn't get around to doing it or formulating the thought completely. But I think that's where I was going to go with that. Because again, we would have started actioning again in the name of, well, you got to make yourself available. Well, you have to put yourself in a place. You know how some people say, go to bars, go here, go there. Yeah. You got to make yourself present. But the thing about it is you really don't, because the universe knows where you are.
Yeah. And I think the essence
God knows your address, believe it or not.
I think the essence of both of those scenarios between Andre and Jay is not, God already produced that for you. Mm-hmm. It was just your realization that it was possible. And that's everything. So it wasn't like, let me figure out how to do this, or
it was getting out my own way.
Yeah, it's like the very minute you go, I can have this. This is possible. God's like, okay, fine. I've been waiting on you.
And I told God, I acknowledged, I don't know how, because obviously if I did, it would be done. Mm-hmm. I don't know how. So whatever needs to happen, whatever you have to show me, go ahead and show me. Even if I have to cuss somebody out, let that be of light too. But all right, guys, let me get off this phone
You gotta go.
because I gotta go, and Corinne gotta make me some coffee to take on the road. Cause budget life, and that's the other thing I love, y'all. I know the other thing I love is I love budget life, but God also knows I love elegance, abundance, beauty, ambiance, all of that, and all of it finds a way to make itself to me for $3.99. Y'all see this beautiful house we stayed in? Like, come on.
Layover.
Yeah, y'all see our layover?
Get that.
No, tell them bye again. Bye. What the heck? She just woke up out of the bed. She woke up like this.
I plays in my sleep, y'all. You don't even know about this.
Love it. But so guys, this was a random video, I know. But yeah, it's probably gonna have to be by itself. So don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe to me for more random jewels like this, for more random whatevers. Cause we don't hardly plan this content out. We just let it flow. Let it flow. And talk to me in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions about this process, these processes. And don't forget, we have a book. It's called A Course in Gratitude. A Course in Gratitude. And it's by Violet Grace. That's our pseudonym because there's 3 of us who wrote it. Me, Corinne, and her ex-wife, Ashley. And it was such a fun experience, such a fun time. How we came up with the idea and how quickly it manifested and everything that manifested around it. So you can check that out. It's on Amazon. All right, y'all. Peace.
I can't get you out of my mind. It's like I feel it for the first time. Been thinking about you all night. I've been searching for this all my life.